1783. The war is over, and the entire country celebrates. In the peace treaty with England, the Americans have gotten almost everything they asked for, from control of the West all the way to the Mississippi River, to the right to dry their catch of codfish on the shores of Nova Scotia. The soldiers are returning home, and people are filled with optimism about what the future will bring, the pursuit of happiness in a rich and plentiful land.
And I would love thee every day, every night we'd kiss and play, if with me you'd fondly stray, over the hills and far away.
I arrived home 14 days ago, after a very hard journey. The flax and spring wheat all dried up, but at least my orchard is full and blooming. I promised myself 40 barrels of cider. Mrs. Gilbert is a hearty woman. She's contented and happy now that I'm home, and only complains of one thing: the wolves. They howl through the night, disturbing her rest. Oh, why'd I have to sell my gun?
To our west lies land of inexpressible beauty and fertility. There, thousands of streams flow into the Mississippi, that prince of rivers, in comparison to which the Nile is but a rivulet, the Danube a mere ditch.
For Americans, the Wild West is only several hundred miles inland. Most of the continent is still peopled by Indian tribes. With the coming of peace, the way is now open for a steady stream of migration. In time, this will decimate Native American culture. But in 1783, most Indians have never even seen a white man. For the losers of this war, the several 100,000 Americans who had chosen to remain loyal to the Crown, the American victory is a disaster. Many are forced to flee. Some go to Canada to start a new life, others to England. Many loyalists find that even here, in what they had always thought of as home, they do not really fit in.
November in London. Dark, heavy fog. No wonder British people hang themselves in winter. I spend my days as in a dream, thinking of the little cottage I left behind. What I would give right now for a Carolina peach. This is home, our mother country. Yet we are aliens here. The British are cold and formal. Perhaps I'm fit only for America, but there's no prospect of ever returning in safety. I must be content to finish my days among strangers.
Fighting a war which demanded the full participation of ordinary people has profoundly changed Americans. The old hierarchies are breaking down. Gone is the colonial world of deference.
When you end monarchy, you end the sense of being a subject, you end the sense of inequality pervading everywhere, and I think when you become a citizen, you're saying everyone is equal and not subject to anyone. You're equal to each other, and that had a pervasive effect. Servitude, for example, white servitude declined very rapidly and finally disappears altogether by 1800, whereas in the pre-revolutionary period, as many as half the population of Philadelphia had been, at one point in their lives, bonded servants. So you have a real change.
John Adams and his wife Abigail find themselves in England, surrounded by a world of wealth and privilege. Adams has just been appointed ambassador of the United States to the court of King George III. When he presents his credentials to the king, he is received politely. His wife, Abigail, is less than impressed by this old world of inherited power.
Dear sister, yesterday Mr. Adams and I visited the court of His Britannic Majesty. His Highness would look better if he did not drink so much. Her Majesty sits there stiff with diamonds. The whole family is inclined to corpulence. The princess is a short, clumsy miss of 15. The English boast of her beauty, but your simple American girl is much prettier. I stood there for 4 hours before His Gracious Majesty deigned to nod at me. Now I know to be looked down upon by sovereign pride is considered a mighty honor here, and I fear my expression was not sufficiently supplicant. There is a servility of manners here, a distinction between nobility and common citizens, which happily is foreign to Americans.